Hi everyone, it's Kamara Mary Rajbari. How are you? Today is day 12 of the 40-day prosperity invocation with Wombmyn, and just another exciting, fabulous, powerful day. It really is. Like, the more that I get into this process, I'm just like sinking down into the surrender of it all, and it is so beautiful. I really can't express how full I am from this process. So thanks to everyone who's joined us on this process. This group intention has been so powerful. I just wish that everyone could experience it because it shifts everything. I've done this process alone a few times, and there's just nothing that can compare to doing it with a group of people who have set the same intention. So please join us. There's still time to join us. Anytime you can join us. Anytime you can begin again. I wanted to do a video today on meditation and staying present. Someone had asked about some techniques and tips on how to do that, and I intended to make that video, and then I realized today that I should probably go ahead so that if there still are any questions that, maybe this could be helpful for anyone who's in the process with us. So I began meditating, I think about 15 years ago, and I had meditated off and on what I thought, was just kind of, some simple awareness exercises. And then finally, time came up in my life where I really wanted to learn how to meditate. And I went to this retreat center, and I was able to learn the technique of Vipassana, and it forever changed my life. So meditation, if you want to learn, I will post their website at the very end of this video. It is an opportunity that everyone has. This is a donation-based retreat center. So if you would like to learn how to meditate, they simply ask you for a donation for your time stayed, in terms of like eating food and having lodging and learning the techniques. It's just simply by donation. And these people have meditation centers worldwide, strictly by donation. So know that something like that can happen because so many people are committed to this process. So we have 15 minutes in the morning, and 15 minutes is a lovely time to just get centered for that morning and to do the work, to really stay present for the work that's ahead of you in the day. So how do you stay present? How do you even meditate if you've never done it before? I'm going to give you some simple techniques. There's people out there who will teach you all kinds of techniques, and you can Google them. You can probably find a center in your area to learn a certain technique. What I'm going to tell you is really strictly for beginners, and maybe someone who has practice may find some benefit. Basically, in the morning, you're going to get up, and there's several ways that you can meditate. Let me start there. There's several different postures that you can have in meditation. One is that you could sit down in a chair, just like the chair I'm sitting in right now. It has a back to it. I don't even know if you can see the back. But you could sit in a chair with your feet flat on the ground, not crossed, and your hands in your lap, and your hands can either be palms up, palms down. I find that it does not really matter. You sit up straight, your spine straight, your neck straight, and your belly, when you're in that correct posture, your belly will just naturally fall forward. So you'll know that you're in that correct posture. And what you want to do is just not make sure your arms aren't crossed, your legs aren't crossed, your feet are flat on the floor, and that you've relaxed your shoulders. Shoulders are not up here. Just, feel for any tense areas in your body. And then relax your arms on your lap. So they don't have to be hyperextended. They could just relax there, because you're going to be sitting in meditation and you don't want any of your limbs to tire out or become numb. So just relax and just observe the body. Maybe take a few deep breaths in this seated posture, like just to kind of release everything that you've had to do up into getting into this posture. So just release it and close your eyes. Like a few of those kind of breaths. And just allow the body to kind of just relax. Another way to do it is to sit on a pillow, either on the floor, and cross your legs. You can sit in lotus if you'd like to, if you can achieve that. So sitting cross-legged on a pillow is a great way to meditate, and many people do it that way. You can also meditate laying down. However, early in the morning, or really just any time of the day, meditation in a lying position can be challenging for someone who's a beginner, because the body becomes so relaxed that you would just naturally fall asleep. So it's usually typically a posture that's recommended for people who are more advanced in their meditation studies, and they can do this without falling asleep. Okay, and lastly, you can walk and meditate. Now, I don't know if we would do that, if anybody would have the opportunity to do this in the morning, but if you want to take a walk while we're in session, you can walk and meditate. Now, walking meditation is different from your everyday walking. Walking meditation would say this is the ground. See if I could do this in a way that you can see. So say this is the ground, and say this are my feet. Then I am in walking meditation, I'm taking one step consciously, then another step consciously. You may even pause between steps. It's that slow between steps. So I'm not sure if that illustration works, but walking meditation is very slow, very focused. It's even focusing, like say this is the bottom of your foot, you're just focusing on the toes touching the ground and the heel touching the ground. The toe touching the ground, the heel touching the ground. It's a very slow meditative process. But walking meditation can be another way of really giving yourself an opportunity to just relax into a very meditative flow. So it's a great thing to do if you have like a park that's not too busy, that you can just walk and meditate. Maybe even in your backyard, we can do that. You don't need a lot of space to do walking meditation, and you can even do it in your living room. If it was fairly big, you could do it in your living room. So those are the different ways that you can meditate. What do you want to do once you get into that meditative posture? So some objectives. Well, some things that you want to consider. One is your breath. Your breath is the easiest way to help yourself achieve that present moment. So by taking deep breaths in the beginning, those just deep controlled breaths, like, and holding and releasing, and then in that release, just releasing everything, the whole body, any parts of your body that are tense, just releasing everything, thoughts. 3 deep controlled breaths, and then move into observing your natural breath. It's just the breath that you're not holding, it's just what is happening naturally in your body. As you're sitting there or walking or lying there, pay attention to the very subtle breath that's coming out of the tip of your nostrils. If you can't feel it and it's too subtle, then do some of these breaths through the nose. And you'll feel it, and then you'll become aware of that breath leaving the nose. And that is called anapana. So when you're sitting there, paying attention to the breath as it leaves the nose and kind of floats around this upper lip area, that's anapana. And the more that you're able to concentrate on this sensation that's happening from the nose, from the air leaving the nose onto the upper lip area, you're going to deepen your meditation because it's taking your focus deeply into the present. So anapana is very good for the beginner because it really does begin to help you to realize the most subtle points of being present. So again, if you find your mind wanders, you're doing anapana and my mind wanders to grocery shopping later, I take a deep breath and I feel the air leaving my nose again, and I'm able to refocus. In all of this, thoughts will come and go. That is a part of our mind. Our minds are very active. We live in a very active society. So the meditation is to help us balance that and not be so active all the time that we're stressed or we're running on this high octave. So the meditation is to relax you, to be in the present moment, to not be just at high throttle all the time. So that's one thing. And the thoughts will come and go. Even the most advanced practitioners have thoughts that come and go. What you do with those thoughts instead of attaching to them. So one is, the first thought comes, I ran out of juice. Then I could either observe that thought, I ran out of juice, and let it go, or I'll attach to that thought, I ran out of juice. Now I got to think about, when can I go to the store to get some juice? The next thing I know, I'm in a process of planning for the future to go to the grocery store to fit that into my schedule. And the next thing I know, I'm not really in the present moment. So when you've noticed that happens, and it happens so quickly, the mind is so brilliant, it happens so quickly. The next thing you know, you're just like in this planning phase. So all you've got to do to just bring yourself back to the present moment is to just take that breath again. And release that. Release the plans. They will be there after you meditate. And maybe it was good that you remembered that. So just release it and let it float away. Same thing with anything that was upsetting from yesterday. My boss said this to me yesterday. You can leave it at that and let it float away. It came and it went. Or I could get into, I should have said this to him yesterday. I should have responded this way yesterday. Then you're in the story, right, of the past. So then you're back in the past and not in the present. So again, deep breath, hold, release. You'll find that the meditation practice is like that. This is the work of becoming present. The work of just allowing things to come and go and observe. Oh, there is that thought. Okay, there it goes, you know. There is that plan I need to make. Oh, yeah, there it goes. There is the pain in my shoulder that just suddenly showed up. Things can physically show up too that your mind's going to want to respond to. Oh, there's a pain in my shoulder. I should just lift my hand and rub it. Maybe I can just allow it to come and subside. Same with itching. Oh, you know, there must be just like a piece of lint right here on my eye. I think anybody who's meditated will, you know, tell you that feeling happens. And you're just like crazy for it. Especially if, you know, you're in class with your teacher and they're like, don't move. And you're just like, but it's there. You can simply observe it and allow it to come and go, even though it will intensely try to make itself, known, right? Don't worry if you have to respond to those things. Don't worry. But I laugh because, we are told as old students, and they refer to you as old students once you've gone through the beginning process of learning meditation, that you are instructed a lot to just observe. Get in the practice of observing and not so much reacting or responding. And you can imagine the deeper that you get into that practice, the more it begins to translate into your everyday life. You're not going to just respond and keep responding and reacting. Everything will be in the present moment and it will be fine. So anyway, that's it. Those are just some of my tips. I hope I covered what people were wanting in terms of just learning how to sit in the present moment and maybe some meditation tips. In the end, it's all good. The intention is for you to relax and have this moment to really focus and to be present. So use your determination, keep practicing. It's a practice. The most advanced students in meditation will tell you they continue to practice. Life is very active. We must continue to practice. And it's a beautiful thing to do. It should be full of joy and wonder just to get to know yourself in this new way. So just enjoy it. Just be with it. Nothing's right or wrong. Everything's very beautiful. So we look forward to the call tomorrow, and take care. Have a good evening.